What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are looking at Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon. We are Dragon Ass, man. What an appropriate way of describing it. You can see throughout this whole range, like we moved sideways here. This was a very long period of moving sideways. Arguably, this whole kind of area was moving sideways, but here, man, we've just been in the same range for so long. Yes, we had this little move up and down. It was kind of exciting. We got a little witch's hat here. I don't know. I'm not going to draw a witch, you guys, but you can see. I did not mean to click that. You can see that we are dragging ass. We are hugging this purple line, the 123 moving average here. We have not moved below it. We are actually hugging it, and while that might seem good and dandy, it's probably not. Generally, whenever you hug this purple line, you break through it. Whenever you hug this purple line, you break through it. You know, you want to, with this purple line, you want to like just reject it. And I guess here you hugged it too, and you didn't break through it, to be completely fair. RSI was really weak here. You were rejecting the 50 area. I don't know. And on the daily, I guess Bitcoin Cash doesn't specifically. I don't know. You show some respect on it for sure. But I would expect nonetheless that hugging it is not a good thing. If this was to be an area of support, I think we would have gotten it already. And I think as the days goes on, if we look at this here, you can see that we had this little ascending area right here, and we've broken out of it, right? You can see that. It's gone from being an area of support to an area of disrespect. And I think that will spell negative things to come. We do, after all, have lower highs and lower lows throughout this whole trend. I do think that we're going lower. I don't think this is the end of it. I've said that for basically since this here. You know, here I was saying I do expect to move up to about 213 to 225, 230, somewhere in that range. And we did go up all the way to 228. And then we came down. We actually came down a lot faster than I thought we would have, just, you know, in comparison relative to this whole range. But here we are in the same area that we were dragging ass before. We're dragging ass now. And I do think sooner or later we are going to break to the downside. And when we do, we are going to break below this low. Where are we going to go? Probably right around where this white line is, actually. I do think that we go to the 618.69 area of this overall fib. The 0.618 is at 148.57. The 0.69 is at 135.39. So I do think somewhere in this range, likely toward the 0.69 area, is where the price will go. I have a very big buy order set at 145. I don't care. I do think that it goes to 135, but I don't care to catch the exact bottom. I'm happy to buy $10 above because I want to get in. It's a big buy order, you guys. I don't want to get it partially filled. I want it to get completely filled. So that's why my buy order is set to 145. Maybe it doesn't go there, maybe it does, but if it doesn't go there, I will happily buy higher, which is still lower than where we are now. So I'm not worried about it at all. Take it for what you will. I do think we go lower. Not a whole lot has changed in the past few days. I realized that yesterday I didn't make any videos. I'm sorry, you guys, but I didn't make any videos. It was a very long day for me, and I had some unexpected physical activities that took place, and I was tired, man. I was tired. So, you know, here I am talking about it, but I felt like it was a good day to take off because look at that, man. That day there, this day here, the last 2 days, they haven't really promoted much difference. So we had literally a 0.53% growth yesterday, and we had a 0.88%, not even a percent of a move in the last 2 days. So I don't feel bad about skipping a day. I do feel bad because I know you guys, some of you look forward to these videos. I look forward to these videos too, man. I love making these videos, but all in all, it's just the same as it's been. We're in this downtrend, lower highs. Yes, we had a little bit of a move up here. Let me see if I can make it. There we go. Lower highs, lower lows galore. I think that we are going lower. I think hugging this purple line does imply that we will break it. If we were to bounce off it, find support on it, I think we would have already, and it wouldn't have been to the tune of a lower high. I do think that this candle, being the biggest candle out of this whole range, being that it's a green candle, does show that we are not done going up and that we will inevitably break this high. But before we do that, I do think we go lower, probably around 150 to 135, closer to 135 is what I'm expecting. looking at the daily here, the short-term RSI has broken this little like short-term uptrend it had. He had bearish divergence or hidden bearish divergence forming where you have higher highs in the RSI, yet you have, come on now, lower highs in the price. And I think that we will not find our bottom for Bitcoin Cash, our relative low, until we are back into the oversold zone, or at least until we bounce off of it. It's a pretty good circle right there. Something else I want to talk about, again, I've been talking about it in all my Bitcoin Cash videos, is this long-term RSI. It is the 123 long-term RSI here. Oh, there we go. So if you look at it, RSI 123, most RSIs are between like about anywhere from 8 to 14, sometimes even around 20. I've never personally seen anybody use a 123 or anything near that as far as long-term RSIs go, but it is very significant. The moves are more significant with it. Whenever you go from about, let's say, 51.5 to 50, it's a dramatic difference than it is on a short-term RSI, so that takes a lot more to move. Example right here, this move, this 18% move, the biggest candle that we had throughout this whole range, all that promoted was a less than 3 reading up from here, from this low, which was at, let's see, that was at about 51.58, 51.5 maybe. Let's just say it was, let's see, 51.4, all the way up to 54.1. So that's less than 3. What's the word I'm looking for? 3 iterations. No, not 3 iterations. 3 decimals, I guess. Not 3 decimals either. I don't know, man. I don't know what the word is, but it's less than 3 away from here, and all that was an 18, and that was an 18% move. That was the biggest candle you had. And what I'm trying to say is that with that big of a move, you got a very insignificant move in the long-term RSI, but these insignificant moves are actually very significant. So being here at about, in case I lost anybody, being at about 51.38, moving down to the 50 does leave us room to drop dramatically from here. And dramatically doesn't have to be terrible. Maybe it's a 20% drop, maybe it's less. You know, these readings are based on the close, so could we go down to like 135, which would be a 30% drop, and then at some point throughout that very same day come back up and make it a 24% drop? Sure, you know, something like that could totally happen. But nonetheless, I do think that we're going lower. That's my expectation. We could go a little bit below this 50, but somewhere around it on the long-term RSI, somewhere around this line right here is where I would expect that we find a low for price as well. That's not where I would expect that the wick itself goes, but that the closing low goes, and we're not there yet. We are close, but we're not close enough, and I do think that we go lower. We did have highs over here on the long-term RSI that lined up with about, let's say, 49.4, so we could go anywhere from about 50 to 49.5 around there on this long-term RSI on a closing basis with the price before we turn around, and that's my expectation. So we're not there yet. Lower to come, probably lower than this low here, and you know, best case scenario, we form a double bottom off of these lows. That's not a straight line at all, is it? Something like that's still not straight, but you know what I mean. Which that would be at about 164. Maybe we find a low around there, and then we continue to go up from there. But at the current moment, regardless of where we bottom, I think we go lower, and then we can talk about it later whenever we're going to potentially go higher. If you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. I know I might have been a little bit confusing and fumbled my words a little bit there, but forgive me. All in all, holding this purple line like this, it's bullish for the time being, but hugging it without seeing any dramatic or significant pump afterwards. This pump might seem significant, but it's just a lower high. I would expect that we do break through this line. And with a break through this line, I think that we're going to get a lower low than this low here. And where are we going to go? About 150 to 135. That's my expectation. So if you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.